So what's up, guys? I'm going to explain you something that might be useful for some of you that want to scrape things, they want to get that data and pass it to ChatGPT, and then take that data, clean it, do something, and then put it in a Google Sheet or send it in an email or something like that, right? In this case, using Apify, scraping data in Apify, then passing that data to ChatGPT, and then using that data and put it in a Google Sheet or whatever, right? So I'm just going through the fundamentals here, but I think you can be super creative and use this as you wish. But the example that I want to be using here is that I'm going to be scraping data from dentists in LA. Then we're gonna get the website from that dentist, and then we're gonna pass it to another scraper, and we're gonna get the contact details. So we need the email so we can send things, right? Then we're gonna get the website itself, and then we're gonna pass it to ChatGPT, and we're gonna say, hey, check this website, create 5 posts, and then return those posts, and we're gonna put them in a Google Sheet. The idea is that we could say, like, let's say I'm a marketing agency, and I don't know, I am a content manager in Twitter, and then I send these posts to a dentist and I say like, hey, I see you are not active on Twitter, or you post like not often or something. So here's 5 posts that you can use. Let me know what you think about them. I'm open to be helping you with Twitter, right? And then you can do this like in 1 minute, send that to the dentist, and then they might be open to work with you, like managing their Twitter or something. So here, as you can see, this is the one that I'm going to explain. So we have here the first scraper, then we have the second scraper, then we pass that data to ChatGPT, and from there, we put it in a Google Sheet. So I'm going to explain everything from scratch. Let me drink some water. So if we start from scratch, let's go to scenarios, and here we create a new scenario. And here we need to connect to Apify, right? So Apify is free. You can create an account. It's gonna give you like $5 in credit, so you can test things. And if you wanna keep working with them, you can start paying. But for this, you can play around, right? So these are the scrapers that we're gonna be using: Yellow Pages US scraper, and then Contact Details scraper, right? So this one is for scraping the general data, and this is for the contacts, for the emails. So if we start with contacts, look, so the way, no, let's start with Yellow Pages, right? So this is the thing that you gotta copy. Well, I mean, you look up for it in the store. In this case, I already have it, so I'm just gonna copy. You go here, Apify store, you paste it, and this is the one, right? So once you are in there, because you haven't run it in the like never, it's not going to appear in actors, and we need it in actors, so you can look it up here in Make. So what you will do is like you just run it once, and then use aborted right away. Let me see. Yeah, abort here. Okay, and then you will see it here in actors. So now you can, search for it in Make. So here you go to Apify, and then you connect. So you run an actor. So first time you're gonna add here an account, right? The first one recommended is the easiest. You can go with the API token, but I mean, it's more complicated. You can just connect it like this, simpler. Allow access. Okay, we are here now. We select the actor. So this is the one that we were saying, right? Yellow Pages US runs currently, yes, because we need to wait for it to finish so we can continue with the next model. And then here we need to input a JSON. So if you go here, you will see something that says JSON. So you copy that, then you input it here in JSON. So in this case, I'm just doing some testing with dentist LA, like here, right? And I'm just bringing 5 because I don't want to burn all my um, on my crates because I'm testing. But I mean, you can modify these as you wish, right? So once you have these, the rest can be empty, and then you save, and then we need to get the items. So you, again, Apify, get the dataset items, and here you can search for it. Default dataset, default dataset ID. That's it. So if we were to run it, so it finished. So now we can see here the data that is scraped. So you can see just random data from some dentists in LA. So the thing that is important here is that the email, right? So we can go through the email and extract the contact details. So something useful is that you can just get this data here, like the output, and then parse that in a JSON. So we don't need to be running these models every time because we are testing. So we will be burning tokens, and there's no point of it. So you just parse the JSON here like that. Then we can unleak this and we move the trigger here, and now it's gonna be starting from here. So now, again, as I mentioned, we need to scrape the contact details, right? So in this case, we're gonna be using the other scraper, which is contact details scraper. So you add a model again, Apify, run an actor. Then here we select contact details scraper. Yes, but wait. Something important that you gotta do before doing this is that you're gonna run it, so we can use the data from here, right? This warning was just because we cannot start a trigger in a JSON, but I mean you just click OK and then that's it. So now we can, as you can see, we have the output here. So Apify and run an actor. Contact details scraper, yes, and then here we do the same thing. Go here, JSON, and we copy this, paste it here. But here, as you can see, we need a URL, right? So in this case, we're gonna be passing the website like that, and that's it. However, we need to add a filter here. Actually, let me finish with this. We can add another, yeah, the same thing. Just we can see that what was returned. Yeah, that default dataset ID, same as here. But we need to add a filter here because not all of them. Let me say this. Not all of them have a website, so we don't need to break it, right? So if we add a filter here, swap a filter, label, filter, random filter, condition, website exists, right? It needs to exist so we can scrape it, and then that's it. So let's see what happens. So if we run it, yeah, so let's see if we get something here. So we have in the first operation, I don't think we got some emails here. I mean, if we do a quick search here, no emails, doesn't have emails, but let's see the operation number 2. Let's see this one here. Actually, this one looks better, right? So for example, for this one, we have emails, we have all this data, so that's good. Let me see operation number 3, what happened here. Okay, this is nothing, right? So yeah, what we can do is we can take, again, same thing, we get the data from operation 2, which is the one that looks better, and then we parse a JSON, so we don't spend crates, parse JSON, and save and link, and then we move the trigger. Beautiful. All right, so now we have this data here. Let's see, let's run it. Yeah, run anyway. So we have the data, right? Yeah, emails here. Let me save this because I always forget. Yeah, so now we have the data here, right? So we're gonna get that data and pass it to ChatGPT. So it can go to a website, see what is going on about this website, and then create the posts. So, but as you can see here, it has multiple bundles, right? So it's just like another bundle. So the idea is that we need to aggregate all this data so we can send only one to ChatGPT. So what you can do is like you go to here to flow control, the array aggregator, and then here you literally just select everything. It's gonna aggregate everything, and then from here we can send it to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT also we need to create a connection. So before you do the connection, you gotta create an API key. But I mean, you just can go to platform.openai.com and then you go here to API keys and then you create an API key. Make sure that you have at least $5 so you can use the API key. We're gonna be using GPT-O Mini, O4 Mini, which is super cheap. So you don't need to worry about like spending a lot of money. It's super cheap. So you can just use that, right? So I'm just gonna create one with you guys so you can see how it's working. Here, random one, random, create, right? Okay, we have it. So you copy that, we go back, and then here, ChatGPT, right? So we need to, the one that we need is this one, create a compilation prompt. So you create this one here, and then you're gonna connect. You're gonna ask for the API key. You just paste it, right? Actually, the organization ID, you also need to get it. You can see here it says journal and then organization ID, right? So you copy that and you can use it. All right, so we have that, and then here, okay, we use that one, and then model. As I mentioned, we're gonna be using this one, Mini. This is cheap. It's cheap. You don't need to worry about it, guys. So mini cheap. That's it. And this is good. This one is good. I use it a lot. So now we need to add a message, right? So the message in role is gonna be user, and then here we can say like, okay, go to this website, analyze it, and summarize it for me. And you gotta be like super explicit so he doesn't get confused. And then here we need to pass the website, right? So we can have, it's gonna be the domain, because if we check, let's see, yeah, it is here, see? Actually, you can use any of them, both, if you want, like URL, domain. We're gonna be using domain here. So domain, and that's it, right? So you save, and then what we can do is like, once we have then analyzed the data, we're gonna create the posts, right? So what we can do is add another one, same thing, create a completion, but in this case, again, same model, but in this case we're gonna a message here, user, and then let me paste this so I don't waste time here, guys, for you. But like, so this is what I'm sending to the model. Create 5 posts for Twitter based on a topic in the niche, which is listed below. The post should be engaging and hook the reader to want to engage through liking, commenting, or sharing the post. Make sure to use any relevant hashtags to increase exposure at the end of the post. Don't use emojis. I mean, I don't like emojis, so that's why I'm saying don't use emojis. But I mean, you can put whatever you want here, right? And then here we return that just with a new line. This is important because then we need to like separate each. But I mean, you can like if you want to separate by commas, that's fine, whatever. But I'm just gonna use new lines here. Example, I just give some examples. Again, you gotta be explicit to the model so it doesn't get lost. And then this is the niche, and the niche is gonna be. Well, actually, before I do this, I need to run this one so we can use data here, right? So let me just delete it pretty quick. Um, so let's run it and see what happens. Okay, so now we got the data. Um, okay. Okay, that's good, guys. So you can see how I'm debugging this live. Well, I don't know what happened there with ChatGPT that now it's not checking websites. But I mean, it's good that this happen here live, so you guys can see how you can work around. It's gonna be like this always with automation. Sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes it doesn't. So you need to like figure out things. So another model that we can use is Perplexity, right? Similar to ChatGPT. So you do the same thing, right? You gotta create a model and connect it. So you go here to this. Let me, so you can see it. So you go here to Perplexity AI, right? That AI, and then you go to API keys and you create an API key. You need to do the same thing. You need to charge at least $5 so you can use it. So I'm going to delete this key so it doesn't. So you need to use it, right? So like, if we go back to make again, so we were here, right? So we parse data, we aggregate the data, and then we need the model to check the website so we can create the posts, right? So what I did here was creating this model, then I added the connection here, and I passed the API key here, and then I just choose a random one. I don't use Perplexity much, so I'm not sure, but I mean Sonar sounds good to me. Uh, and then here you pass the same text that I was passing with ChatGPT. Go to this website, analyze it, and summarize it for me, and then you pass the domain. And that's it, right? So I run it, and then this is the data that I got. So in this case, I got the data. I got a summary. So let me see. It's in choices, I think. Message content. So yeah, you can see here analyze the one that we passed, which is California Smile Maker. So you can see like it's the official website, blah blah blah. Okay, so you got it. In this case, it's working. So right now, we can use ChatGPT in this case to create the posts, right? So let's use it. Then he already made a connection. So we're gonna use. I mean, we can use this one, random one. This one is fine. You can go to all mini. This one here. Oh, this one. This one is also cheap. All mini. I mean, let's use this one. And then here we add the message. And let's see, we had a message here which is same message that I had in the beginning, which is this one. Raw user text, right? So it's the same thing that we had that I already explained. And then here we pass the data. No, this one, no. The result from Perplexity. So we go, what was it? It was in choices, right? Message, this one, content. And that's it. Now we should be able to see some posts. So let's see. Let's run it and see what happens. Okay, let's see if it worked now. Now if we go to choice, let's see if we return something. Yeah, so you can see we got 5 posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you can send this to the dent. I will send this to the dentist store here. I will say, hey, I see you don't use Twitter that much. Here are some posts, 5 posts that you can use. Um, I mean, you can do some copyright, so you can say like, hey, they are proven to work or something, and then they might use it, right? And then they might have, keep you in account, so maybe they need a manager, and then they can hire you for it. But yeah, I mean, the idea is that you know how now you can know how you can get the data from Apify, pass it to models, and then from there you can do whatever you want. So yeah, if you are having issues like me that you cannot check internet, I don't know why, using ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity. But if any of you guys know why, just drop me a comment down below why it's happening, and then I can say it out. And you can check it out. But yeah, anyways, the point is like now we got the posts here, right? So we're gonna be doing the same thing. We copy this. These are the posts here, and then we parse a JSON. So we don't need to be running this every time. Parse save, and then let me unlink this, and then let's move the trigger here. Yeah, and then let's move this here. All right, almost done. Okay, so we have here the JSON with the data parsed, right? So now we need to get the posts. In this case, I'm going to explain you how to do it, like how to put each post as a row in a Google Sheet. But technically, you could do whatever you want now, right? Like you could take this data and put it in in an email and send it to a lead potentially, or you could just keep working with it, keep playing with the data. But in this case, I'm just gonna get each post. Remember here in this message, I told it to separate each post with a new line. So that's why it's useful here, because we're gonna use a formula to split that string based on the new lines, and then from there each of them is gonna be a row in the Google Sheet, and it's gonna look like this at the end, right? But yeah, if you don't want that, you could literally just connect the Google Sheet, send the data to a Google Sheet. It's gonna be just one row with all the data, and from there you could use formulas if that's easier for you. A formula here and split that, right? Or regex or something. But like in this case, let's do it simpler here. So we're gonna get the data here. So you run it first, so you can use the data in the next model. And once you have it here, we're gonna use a formula, right? So the formula is gonna be, we're gonna set some variables. So we go to tools, and then we set multiple variables. So each variable is gonna be one post, right? So let's start with the first one, post 1. So here's gonna be two formulas. There's gonna be two formulas, right? So the first one is gonna be get. I'm going to explain that, and then we're gonna have a split, right? And then we're gonna have a split. All right. So what the split is doing, right? We're gonna pass the string, and then we need to pass what will be the separator, right? And then the get is like, okay, return five things. We need to get which one, right? That's what we using the get for here. So in this case, in the split, we're passing the result, and then what will be remember, the new line. That's what we used. And then here in the get, we are getting now the data split. Now we need to get which side of the data. So in this case, it's gonna be the first. So it's gonna be the first post. Yeah, I think that makes sense, guys. And then we go here to post 2, and then the same thing, but then in this case, we're gonna get the second one, post 3, and in this case, we're gonna get the third one, and then post 4, and then we get the fourth one, and then the last one is gonna be post 5, same thing, right? All right, so we got the data here. Okay, so those are our variables. So if we were to test it just to see how it is looking, let's see. So you see, like we have post 1, post 2, post 3, right? So now it looks better, and now each of these gonna be a row in the Google Sheet. But again, if it is too complex, you can literally just connect it to a Google Sheet, send it as a just one string, and then use it here. You know, like you could use the same thing here, split and do something here, right? Anyways, so we have the data here, right? And then let's see. Now we need to get this and aggregate it. Then we need to iterate each and send it to a Google Sheet. So let's see. So we add an aggregator here. And we only use these. These are gonna be our posts. We select those. Yeah, the tool, the one coming from tools. And then then we need to iterate, right? Go one by one. Iterator, this one. And this is the one that is coming from the array. And it's gonna be, if we see the first, yeah, it's gonna be the first one, right? So we can add second one. And the third post is gonna be like this one. Fourth. Yeah, all right, so we got it here, and then we gonna connect to a Google Sheet and then just paste the data. So I can show you from scratch how it is working. So let's do this. Here's one test. Let's name it test make.com, right? And then here we can name the day, and this is gonna be the post. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so now we have the data here. Let's just run it to see everything is working correctly. Yeah, so we have here the data is fine. Now we connect to a Google Sheet, and then we add a row, right? So you select this one here. Then here you just make the connection. In this case, I'm using this email here. And then here you select, let me see. I think you can just do it by ID. It's easier, so just connect, get the ID. The way you get the ID from a Google Sheet is like, let me see if you can see it here. You go to a URL, and this part that is between these two slash here, like, you know, between this D and this edit is the ID. So you copy that, and then let's see if we find it. Enter manually. Yeah, spray ID. I think found it or not. Select from all. And actually no. Use this one. Select from all. Then you paste the ID, and then it's just gonna give you the sheets, right? In this case, we only have one sheet, right? Sheet number 1. I don't think you can see it, but let's see. Well, I mean the first. You can see the name is sheet number 1. And then here we have date. So what's gonna be in date? In this case, we could just have it like, you know, the current rate when you run this automation. But the things like if you use it like raw, it's gonna give you like a bunch of stuff that you don't need. So we need to format it. So we can use our formula here. So you could use like format date, and then here we're gonna take one date. Usually you see it looks like this when it's raw, and how we want it. So what we can do is like pass now, which is like a special, now this one here, special variable now. And how do we want it? How? So I want it like this. So it's gonna be like that. Yeah, so let me see. So this is how it's gonna be looking. Look, you see like a month, a day, and a year. But I mean, you can, you can put it like whatever you want here. And then in post, we need to pass the value, right? This one. Let's say save, and let's see if that is working. Let's see. You can see 5, and voila, it is here. It is working. So yeah, guys. So this is how you can literally get data from Apify, pass it to ChatGPT, or do things with it using AI, and then put it in a Google Sheet, or like from here you could use email, or like move it to a CRM or something. So yeah, the only thing that, I mean, this is your the basics. You can play with this around. I'm gonna leave the blueprint in the comments, so you can just copy paste that, and it's gonna load this in case you wanna just test it on your own. So let me know if you have any question. You can just drop me a comment down below, and I will reply. All right. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and bye. Thanks.